How awesome would it be if you were getting 100 new followers every single day on TikTok? In this video, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm going to give you a 30-day plan so you can start getting the views and the followers that you've always wanted. And it doesn't matter if you're starting from scratch or you've been posting forever without seeing results. If you accept this challenge and do the 10 things that I'm about to share with you for 30 days, it will completely transform your views, your followers, and the engagement that you're getting on your account. You'll also have a much better understanding of how the TikTok algorithm works and what it takes to actually get results. Because I know that when I started on TikTok, I spent a lot of time worrying about whether I was doing the right things. And the more conflicting advice that I listened to from gurus, the more confused I became. So I'm gonna make this simple and I'm gonna cover all the big questions that you have, like how often you should post, whether you need to niche down, and whether this idea of engaging from the bottom up actually helps you grow on TikTok. Now, you may not feel like getting 100 followers per day is even possible, but if you do the 10 things I'm about to share for the next 30 days, I promise you that it is. This is exactly how I got to 10,000 followers in about 45 days, and I've helped many new creators do exactly the same. At this point, you have nothing to lose, so why not try something different and follow a single plan for the next 30 days? And if you feel stuck or have questions, just drop them in the comments and I'll help you out. All right, first step of the plan, you are only gonna use one niche or topic for the entire 30 days. And I understand this is gonna be very difficult for some of you because you might be interested in a lot of different things and have a lot of different things that you want to share inside of your personal brand. But this is really important if you want to start getting results. And I'm not saying you only have to talk about one thing for the rest of your life. You're going to be able to expand and talk about more topics later. But right now, our focus is to start getting you consistent growth and views in the next 30 days. And in order to do that, we have to help the algorithm understand what your account is about. We have to get your account categorized and start getting your content categorized. That way the algorithm can show your videos to the people that are actually interested in them. And what happens to a lot of creators is they're posting about too many things, they're sending too many different signals to the algorithm, and so they confuse the algorithm, and then it's just guessing about who to show your videos to. And this is why you might have incredible, valuable content that's actually a really good piece of content. Maybe you even saw that it was a video that worked really well for somebody else, but it didn't work for you. And it's because that other person, they've done the things necessary to categorize their account and get their videos shown to the right people, which means they actually stop scrolling, they actually watch the video, and they watch it for a long time. Whereas yours, it's getting shown to somebody that's not interested, so they're not watching the video for very long, or worse, they're swiping past it. So choose one topic or one niche, and every single video that you put out for the next 30 days needs to be about that topic only. And before we move on, this is a good time to let you know that I actually have a free TikTok growth training. You can grab it in the description. It's actually delivered over 30 days directly to your inbox. So if you're going to be doing this 30-day challenge, that's going to be really helpful because every day you'll have a specific tip or strategy that you can focus on improving that day, and it pairs really well with what we're doing in this video. All right, the second thing that we're going to do is we are going to post 1 to 3 times per day every single day. It's important that you post every single day. And the other thing that's important is that you post consistently, that you do not miss a day. For the next 30 days, you're committing to putting out a video no matter what. And if that means that you can't post more, that's okay. I know that there's a lot of people on TikTok that are telling you that you need to post 3 to 5 times per day in order to grow or in order to grow fast. But I promise you that is not true. You can get extreme growth and get to where you're getting 100 followers per day just posting once per day, because posting the right videos and packaging them in the right way and understanding how the algorithm works is going to get you more results than just posting a ton of content that's maybe not the best content that it could be. So what I want you to do is post as much as you can and still implement everything we're talking about in this video, but no more than 3 videos, okay? I would rather you post 1 video per day. And if you're able to create more than 1 video, then what I would consider doing is dripping those out. Maybe you create 3 videos today. Don't post all of them today. Post 1 today and save some of those to help you be consistent longer. But if you are gonna post more than 1 video per day, don't post them at the same time. Don't post them back to back. Spread them out. Do 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, something like that. Just give them time to process. One of the things that you're gonna see is that your videos might not just get a ton of views right away like they used to. It used to be that like you got 200 to 300 views instantly for that sample audience that they give you, or if it was going viral, like it went viral within minutes. But that's not what's happening now. A lot of times, because the algorithm is working harder to find the right people, it's going to drip those 200 to 300 videos out maybe throughout the entire day. And so we want to give it time to do the work. So if your views are delayed or you're not seeing like instant virality reality, I don't want you to worry about it, because I know I had a video recently that got over 100,000 views, and it only got maybe 200, 300 views in the first day and didn't really get a whole lot more over the next week. And then boom, it took off. So give it time. And one last thing before I forget, if you are worried about posting times, don't. Posting times don't matter. Just choose a time that works for you. It will have no impact on your views. I only like choosing a posting time as like an accountability tool. Like saying to myself, I'm going to have a video posted by 10 a.m. every day or by 5 p.m. every day. Like that helps me to be more consistent and to show up every day. So do that if you need to, but don't really worry about when you post your videos. The third thing you're going to do is experiment and post different types of content. If you want to be successful on TikTok, you have to try a lot of different things, because there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. There's a lot of different types of content that work, but you have to find the format that works best for you and your personality. And so during this 30 days, I want you to experiment. I want you to do the 60 to 90 second talking educational videos. And if you need to go longer, if you're doing a 2-minute video, 3-minute video, that's totally fine. But also try, those 6 to 9 second videos where you just have like a video of you doing some random thing, and then the message and the value of the video is actually the text on the screen, and you can add a trending sound with that. Those used to be really, really popular and used to be one of the best ways to grow on TikTok. And although it's gone more to like a YouTube style talking to camera like I'm doing here, that doesn't mean that shorter content doesn't work. And so I want you to experiment with those different things and try different things and take notice of what does work. Now, the fourth thing to be successful is that we're not just going to guess about what content to post. We are going to emulate outlier videos. And what that means is we are not going to make stuff up. We are only going to post videos that we have already seen be successful on TikTok. And that means you're going to need to do a little bit of content research. And I'm going to show you how to make that really, really easy here in a second. But every single video you post for the next 30 days, whether you do 30 videos, one a day, or you do 60 or 90 videos, posting 2 to 3 per day, every single video has to be a proven video someone has already had success with. Now, that doesn't mean that you are going to plagiarize their video and rip it off word for word or anything like that. But what it does mean is that you are going to use their viral video idea. You are going to use the same hook that they did. And then you are going to share your perspective and tell it in your way with your personality. If you skip this step and you just guess and you just post whatever you want, you will not have success over this next 30 days. The reality is you don't know what good content is yet. And if you want to learn what good content is, you have to study good content. And one of the best ways to do that is by taking something that worked and making it yourself. And then you start to notice the patterns. You start to see the matrix. You start to understand why certain things work and why certain things don't. And that's going to put you in a position where 60, 90 days from now, you are going to be able to come up with your own unique viral video ideas. Now, I said I was going to make it really easy for you to find these outlier videos. So the first thing you need to know is, what is an outlier video? Outlier video is just what it sounds like. It's when somebody gets way more views than they have followers, or way more views than they normally get. So an outlier would look like a creator that only gets 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 views every single time they post, but then they have a video that gets 30,000, 50,000, or even 100,000 views. That's a video that was way more successful than normal. And that means that there's a lot of demand for that video. There was a lot of interest in it, and it got a lot of people to stop scrolling and to watch the video. And so you should be able to make a similar video and have similar success. And it doesn't have to just be small creators. If you find a big creator and they're getting big views, you can do that too. But what you have to be careful of is these creators that are getting 50 to 100,000 views on every single video. That 100,000 view video is not an outlier. An outlier for them is going to be 500,000 views or 1 million views. And so you just got to understand, is this an outlier for that creator? Now, with the established creators, there's something really cool that you can do for your content research with them. I'm going to share that a little bit later, so make sure you stick around. But now that you know what an outlier video is, there's a couple of ways to find them. And the first one is that if you have creators that you really like and you look up to, and maybe you go, hey, I want to be that kind of creator, then you can just regularly look at their account and just see their recent videos and see if any of them have just popped off, and then you can add that to your list. Like, you can just save it on TikTok and make your own version of it. But another thing that you can do is you can program your For You page to only show you the best viral outlier content. And the way you're going to do this, you're going to spend some time on your For You feed, and every single video that comes up that is your niche that you've chosen to do for this challenge, you're going to watch that video all the way through. You're going to like it, maybe leave a comment, and then every video that is not part of your niche, you're going to click on it and say, I'm not interested. And you're just going to do this for 5 to 10 minutes, close your app, bring it back open, and that quickly, it should have changed your For You feed to only be showing you niche videos. Now, if it hasn't, it's okay. Just repeat that process again. Once you've done it once or twice, you should be good to go. But this is going to make sure TikTok is showing you the best, most viral content. It's going to make it really easy for you to find these outliers. You just see a video, catches your attention, you notice it has a bunch of views, click on that person's profile. It's going to take you to their profile, show you that exact video, and you can look at the videos around it to see, is this an outlier for them? The fifth thing that I want you to do is I want you to film in different locations. I would pick 3 to 5 locations in and around your house or wherever it is that you want to record. And this might seem like it's not a big deal, but it can actually have a big impact on your views, because one of the first things that we have to do to be a successful creator is get people to stop scrolling and watch our video. And we're going to talk a lot about how do we get people to stop scrolling. And one of the easy ways to do that is the background, like what's happening behind you. I know that when I record videos out on my patio out here that has this beautiful view of the Texas hill country and all of the ranches that are in the area around me, because I'm up on this big hill, that gets really good results. Like every time I post a video with that background, if I post the same video here in my office, the one in my office isn't going to do as well because it doesn't have the big, beautiful blue sky and the green trees and fields from these ranches that just, they're vibrant and they grab people's attention. And it's kind of like these videos that you've probably seen where people are inside of their cars and they're just talking to the camera like they're on a FaceTime with their friend. That is like a big trend all the way across TikTok, and it's because it works. It gets people's attention. They feel like, hey, this person was just hit. They were like inspired by this video. They had this idea and they posted it. And that might not be true or not, but it gets people's attention. So I want you to experiment with different things, with different backgrounds, and figure out where you're comfortable recording and what is working. And if you start to notice a trend, if you start to notice a pattern of one place working better than another, then you can double down on that and you can do more videos in that way, whether it's in your car or with a beautiful view or whatever it is that works for you. The sixth thing that you need to do on every single video in this challenge is you need to make sure that you always use text on screen. And there's a couple of ways that we're going to do this, but you need to make sure you do it for every single video. And so the first way that we're going to do this is we're always going to use the auto captions. I don't really care which captions that you pick or how big or little they are, anything like that, but you want to have those captions there. That way people can read and hear what you're saying or understand what you're saying, even if they're not able to listen. And this is going to happen a lot. I mean, people might be watching your videos while they're sitting in their college class. I know I used to do stuff like that, and it's a lot easier to do that and get away with it if you have captions, because you obviously can't have the volume on. But I mean, me in my personal life, I'm watching videos when I'm standing in line at the grocery store waiting to check out, or in the evening when my wife is watching The Bachelor or whatever stupid show that I'm not interested in, and I'm just scrolling through my feed watching videos. I want to be able to read what the person is saying because I'm not going to have the volume blaring, and I might not want to have my headphones in while I'm sitting there, spending time with my wife. So auto captions are a must, but the next one that you have to have is you need to have title text on the screen. And this is really simple, but it's non-negotiable. You need to have a written hook that goes above your head with some simple text to get people's attention. Because when they are scrolling through the feed, they're going to decide very quickly whether they want to watch your video or not. And when you have a title that's framed like a hook to make them curious, it's going to get their attention and let them understand what the video is about immediately, so they'll stop scrolling, they'll actually hear your verbal hook, the thing that is that you're saying, and they'll continue watching the video. So using text on screen is important to get people to stop scrolling in the first place, and then to keep their attention as long as possible. That way we can rack up that watch time and get pushed and get more views and have our videos shown to more people. All right, number 7, focus on your hooks. One of the most important things in your video. You probably already know this because this is one of the things the gurus actually do get right and everybody talks about. But the hooks are not just what you say at the start of the video. It's also that title text that I was just talking about. Now, if you're following the rules of this 30-day plan, you're not going to have to worry about hooks too much because you're already going to be emulating that outlier content, and you're going to be taking the exact hook that that creator did for that idea, and you're going to be using it in your video. Now, if that video that you're emulating has a text-based title, you're going to want to use that too. But if they don't, it's something that you're going to want to add, because maybe that's an opportunity for you to get even more views than they do, because you're going to be able to use that visual hook, that text, to get more people to stop scrolling and therefore get way more views. And so in that instance, you're going to have to come up with your own hook. And to help you with that, I want to give you my viral hooks swipe file. I'm going to give it to you for free. This is something that my clients use. It's normally a paid product, but you can actually grab it now in the description. And this is just a great spreadsheet with a bunch of proven hooks that have gone viral repeatedly that you're going to be able to use for those text-based titles. And then in the future, when maybe you're coming up with your own verbal hooks for the video ideas that you have. And the spreadsheet also comes with a companion video that's going to show you exactly how I use it to get the best results. So go ahead and grab it and let's move on to the next thing. Number 8 is that you need to make sure you're using the right hashtags. And I want to clear up a few things about hashtags before we get into this, because you may or may not have noticed that not everyone uses hashtags. And the reality is you don't have to use hashtags if you don't want to. You're going to see that a lot of these big creators don't use them at all, and that's because they've gotten their account categorized and they're established, and they realize that it doesn't matter at that point. And the other thing that you need to understand is that the hashtag itself is not going to make you go viral. If you have the perfect combination of hashtags, you're not going to get a ton more views from it. The idea still has to be good. The hook still has to be good. You still have to stop the scroll, get engagement, get a ton of watch time. That's what gets you the views. The only thing that the hashtags are going to help you do is get categorized a little bit faster, because it's another signal that you can send to the algorithm to say, hey, this is what my account is about. This is my niche. This is my topic. And once you understand that, you can go show my videos to the right people that are going to watch them the whole way through. So you don't have to use hashtags in order to be successful, but it's definitely this thing that you can leverage to kind of get results faster, and I would recommend using them in this next 30 days. So here are my rules for your hashtag strategy. The first rule is that you should not use more than 5 hashtags, because if you're using more than 5 hashtags, you're probably going to be confusing the algorithm because it's covering too many topics. The second rule is that you only want to use the hashtags that TikTok recommends. And so what you're going to do is you're actually going to go and search keywords related to your niche or topic inside of TikTok. And then if you scroll all the way to the right, and I don't know if I'm pointing right or left in my video right now, but if you scroll all the way to the right on your screen, you'll have that hashtag section. And that's where TikTok says, these are the hashtags that we want you to use. Now, don't just grab any of the hashtags. This is the important part here. Rule number 3, you want to be looking for hashtags that have less than 1 million uses. If they have 1 million uses, you're going to be drowned out in the flood of all the videos there. So we don't want to do that. We want to stand out. So we're going to be looking for hashtags that have 10,000 to 100,000 uses. You could go up to, let's say, about 250,000 to 500,000, but the sweet spot is 10,000 to 100,000. Now, if you find a really big hashtag that you want to use, like TikTok growth, that has tons and tons of views, and so that's not going to work too well, you can always add like a long tail keyword to it. So you might turn it into TikTok growth for beginners or TikTok growth in 2025. That is going to shrink the amount of uses because it's long tail, and that's going to help you to find these hashtags. Rule number 9 for the next 30 days is that you will respond to every single comment on your profile. This is huge, and too many people don't do this. And the reason it's so important is because engagement helps drive views, and it also creates more watch time. Every single time somebody comments on one of your videos, the TikTok video keeps playing, and so that's increasing the watch time. And so if you respond to that comment, especially if you respond to a comment with like an open-ended question to invite them to comment again, then you're going to get more and more engagement. It's playing while you're sitting there commenting, then they come back, it's playing again, and so you're more likely to get more views. The other thing it's going to do is it's going to create and invite more engagement, because most creators are not responding to comments, and the big creators, maybe they used to, but they just don't have the time anymore. But when the people that see your video go check out the comments and see that you're personally responding to all of the questions and all of the comments, they are going to be more likely to leave a comment or ask a question of you. And that means more engagement, and that means more watch time, and that means more views. And yes, this is going to take a little bit of time, but this is one of the big things that allowed me to grow from 0 to 30,000 subscribers on my YouTube in my first year. And it was one of the things that allowed me to go from 0 to 50,000 in just a couple of months on TikTok. And so I want you to take advantage of this. Do the thing that most people aren't going to do. And if you have a really good question, if somebody that you're able to like turn into a video, use that video reply feature. It is amazing. And all you got to do, reply to that comment, record a short video, post it. Consider that a bonus piece of content for the day, or save it in your draft so you can post it tomorrow. But that content is great. And a lot of times, if somebody's asking a question or you're seeing the same question repeatedly, that is an incredible topic for your videos. So I still want you to only do outlier content at least once per day for every day of the 30 days. But if you have good comments, make a bonus video, and don't worry about that one being an outlier. Just respond to that. Start creating more engagement, more excitement around your account for your followers. The 10th thing that you need to do during this entire 30-day challenge is you need to remake your top videos. If you have a video that really stands out and is almost like an outlier for you, or all of a sudden maybe you get 10,000 views or something like that, as soon as those views start to slow down and stop, I want you to make that video again, okay? Now, you might be worried that if you post the exact same video again, if you remake that video, that your followers are gonna get sick of it. But that's probably not the case, because the first thing is that when you make that video a second time, you're probably going to say it and describe it a little bit differently. And so your followers who started following you because they liked that content, they're not gonna mind seeing it again because that's what they wanted to see in the first place, but also because since you're explaining it a little bit differently, they might, hearing it a different way, understand better. Maybe that allows them to have an aha moment or to get better results. But the big reason that I want you to do this is because TikTok does not show your content to your followers first, like Instagram or YouTube. It's showing your content to 200 to 300 people on the For You page. And although that might have a percentage of them that are your followers, most likely it's going to have 95 to 98% of people that have never discovered you before. And so if you have a video that did really well for you, maybe you're only getting 500 views, maybe max 1,000 views, maybe you're stuck at 200 views, and then you have a video that gets 10,000 views, when you post it again, if it worked that first time, it's probably going to work the second time. And now the algorithm's going to figure out, okay, this is the kind of video that you produce. I understand. I can categorize you. I can show you to the right people. And then new people are going to discover that successful video. And if the first group liked it, that group's probably going to like it too. And this is the secret to how all the big accounts end up growing as fast as they do. They find through that experimentation and through, emulating the outliers, all those things, they find their proven videos. They figure out the ideas and the topics and the hooks that work for them over and over and over, and they start making those videos repeatedly. And I talked earlier about how you can go and you can look at accounts and see like what has stood out from them in the past, and it works really well with the small creators. And there was a trick with the big creators. Well, the trick with the big creators is that if you go to their account and you sort by popular videos, you're going to start seeing that there might be certain videos that they've made 3, 4, 5 times. That's them remaking their best content, knowing that it's going to get them discovered by a whole bunch of new people, and then it's going to work every single time. So when you see that kind of content from a big creator, that's a signal, even if they have a ton of views all the time, that's a signal that that's a content you should be making and should probably be repeatedly making as well. Now, the last thing that I want to touch on is the algorithm. I want to explain to you a little bit about how the algorithm works, because I don't want you to go into this thinking like,
okay, cool, I'm going to follow these 10 rules over the 30 days and I'm going to start getting massive views on day one.
Because that might not happen. It's a 30-day challenge and a 30-day plan for a reason, because it's going to take time to build up momentum, to get your account categorized, to learn how to use some of these skills to actually start getting the results and build up to where you're getting the views and you're getting those 100 followers per day. The first thing that you need to know about the algorithm is that it is perfectly normal if you post a video and you're getting views and it suddenly stops. And a lot of times it's going to suddenly stop at around 200 to 300 views, because that's the algorithm's sample audience. It's basically throwing your video out there and comparing it to other similar videos on the topic to see which video gets the most watch time and engagement. And so it's you versus these other creators, and whichever one does better is going to get pushed further. And this happens all over the place. So if you might get stuck at 500 or 1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000, like you're going to have this kind of range where you tend to stop at, and that's perfectly normal. So if you feel like, hey, I got a viral video and it gets to about 15,000 views and then it just dies, there's nothing wrong. That's how the algorithm was intended to work. So don't worry about it, especially because that video that was successful and then died, it might resurface later as it starts to appear in search, or people go and start binging your content. And so then you have a bunch of people getting high watch time, and it kind of triggers it to start again. And because of this behavior of the views suddenly stopping, even if you're only getting 200 to 300 views at first, I want you to stick to the plan. I don't want you to give up. I want you to commit to doing this for 30 days because it's perfectly normal, and it is going to improve. And so what I want you to focus on instead is I want you to focus on the actions that will lead to the results. I want you to focus on showing up and posting every single day. I want you to focus on implementing these 10 things that I talked about in every single video, because if you focus on that, if you just get a calendar and you go, okay, if I post one video with all 10 of these things in it every single day, then I'm going to get an X on that, and you chain that together for 30 days straight, things are going to start to snowball. You're going to see the results, and it's going to come over time. Because the keys to getting, like the most important things to getting the views on TikTok are consistency and categorization. When you get categorized, they start showing your videos to the right people that are more likely to watch. And when you're consistent, you're a consistent creator that posts every single day the way TikTok wants you to, they actually give you like bonus views. They start to push your account. They start to, let's say, rank your account. And if your account has like a higher ranking than another account, maybe a new creator or somebody who tends to post for a week and then they don't post for a few days and then they post a day or two and then they don't post, like that person's going to have a lower rating. And so all things being equal, they're going to push you over that other one. And so being consistent will lead to more views. Categorization will lead to more views. And if you do these 10 things over the next 30 days, you're going to get those views and followers. Now, these are just the basics of how the algorithm works. So I want you to watch this video next to learn how to make the TikTok algorithm love you and push all of your videos. Because if you can understand the algorithm, you're going to have a very, very easy time of getting the growth that you want.